We have next House File 4603, General Fund Transfer to repay the 21st Century Mineral Fund. Representative Eklund, could you please present your bill or move your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House File 4603, and I also have a DE amendment for that bill, Mr. Chair.
All right. Would you care to move your amendment?
I will move the House File or H4603 DE1, Mr. Chair, to get the bill in the shape that I would like it.
I don't think we have to. Do we have to Mike? Do we have to do a roll call on the DE1 amendment?
We do not, Mr. Chair. As long as if there's any nays, then we should. But if it's unanimous, I think we're fine with the voice vote.
All those in favor of the DE1 amendment, please say aye.
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 Opposed? You have the bill in the shape that you would like, Representative Eklund. Please explain your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, the lead all amendment is before us today to ensure that the money borrowed from the 21st Century Fund due to this COVID-19 related issues has a mechanism to be repaid. This is going to be a long process in getting our state back in the shape it needs to be in. And I just want to make sure that if I am no longer in this position, that the person that follows me will know that we did what we could to make sure that this economic development fund for Northeastern Minnesota would be made whole. And with that, Mr. Chair, I will stand for questions.
Are there any questions? Could you briefly go over how it is repaid?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On line 1.22 of the delete all, there can't be more than $5 million repaid per year to the fund, and that includes the amounts that may be credited from loan repayments that happened out of this withdrawal, and then it would be up to $5 million each year until the amount reaches $20 million. Originally, Mr. Chair, we were going to have it coming from the Unemployment Insurance Fund, but in working with the Governor's office, this is the language that we came up with.
This is the language that the governor said he would sign.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'd also like to know, Mr. Chair, that the same efforts are being worked on in the Senate, but I don't know the status of where they're at. That's why at this time there's no Senate author.
Are there any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, Representative Koznick.
Yeah, sorry, I did text.
Yeah, I literally got the message from Josh as you were breaking in there. So go right ahead.
Yeah, I tried to do that instead of just unmuting and jumping in. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Eklund, the funds, I think it might be helpful if we could have a kind of a history of how the 21st Century Fund started to begin with. But my question to the author is, what are the plans for the investments in the fund, and how will they be used? Are there current plans, or you're just protecting dollars that were perceived to be for this fund? My concern is more broadly to the whole state general fund budget as we face the challenges that we do. Certainly, there's going to be a real pinch for every coin that we can find under the state cushions in the couch. And I'm concerned that without having we're just siphoning off $5 million right away without any particular plan just to protect some territory. But I fear that we come back, we're going to be looking for funds for other things, for education, public safety, health and human services, of course, transportation. So what are the what's the $5 million ongoing, and what are the different investments that this program funds, and what are their plans that they actually need the repayment right away?
Well, Representative Koznick, the state has a fairly healthy reserve fund and rainy day fund. So I don't think it's as dire as you tried to make it out there. But Representative Eklund, would you care to explain the process which this is repaid in?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first off, the history. This fund was created, I believe, in 1999 by Senator Doug Johnson. Wrote the original language. It was a general fund appropriation, I believe, to provide a fund where DEED would have funds available to promote economic development in Northeast Minnesota. This fund is not going to be repaid immediately. That's why I said it's going to be a long haul repaying back. It's when there is a budget surplus when it's going to be repaid. It's not like my original legislation asked for it to start next year. Well, that wasn't going to happen. I knew that. So, developments that have happened with this 21st Century Fund is a good example is Haleen, the solar manufacturing plant in Virginia, or Mountain Iron. And we also have, if some that were here, remember the talk about the Louisiana Pacific project in Cook, Minnesota, that some money is encumbered for that. Now with building starts down, people are, companies are reevaluating the plans. You heard the same kind of thing with Representative Olson's bill prior. So there are a lot of projects that are being looked at using this fund, and we just want to make sure that it is repaid to what it was supposed to be when there is a budget surplus again. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members.
Representative Koznick, did you have a follow-up at all?
Just to clarify, I did misspeak. I know that it's being paid according to the bill in increments. But I appreciate the answer. I didn't hear any specific projects, but thank you very much.
Representative Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And quick question maybe to Representative Eklund. What's the marker as far as when do we know that it's been fully repaid then? To what is the balance, I guess, before the COVID hit? So we know when that fund will be repaid in full by this bill.
Representative Eklund.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Representative Baker. That there was approximately $33 million in the fund when $20 million was taken for the small business loan program.
Thank you.
33 million would be total, would be approximately.
We're just, and Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, we're just paying back the 20 million, right? That's correct.
That is correct. So it will be paid back when there's 20 million from either the surplus, a future surplus, and or any loan repayments from the emergency loan fund.
Thanks for the time.
Seeing no other questions, do you have any closing comments, Representative Eklund?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank you and the members for considering this bill. It's taken some time to put together, and I ask for your support.
Would you care to renew your motion to pass House File 4603 and send it to Ways and Means?
That would be my motion, Mr. Chair.
Will the clerk take the roll?
Representative Mahoney.
Aye.
Representative Newer.
Aye.
Representative Gunther.
Aye.
Representative Backer.
Aye.
Representative Baker.
Aye.
Representative Claflin.
Aye.
Representative Dabney.
Aye.
Representative Eklund.
Aye.
Representative Haley.
Aye.
Representative Hassan. Representative Cagle.
Aye.
Representative Koznick.
Koznick, aye.
Representative Mecklin.
Aye.
Representative Moran,
Aye.
Representative Robbins,
Aye.
Representative Sundin,
Aye.
Representative Stevenson,
Aye.
Representative Zhang,
Aye.
Representative Hassan. Mr. Chair, we have 17 ayes and 1 absent.
Representative Eklund, you're on your way to Ways and Means. Thank you very much.